Ladies and gentlemen, as most of you know, my country is really flat. See that? This is what most of the Netherlands looks like. Completely and utterly flat and below sea level. Most of the country, for that reason, consists of wet and humid grasslands, wetlands, etc. So what you see here on the background is basically vast stretches of wet haylands. Today is going to be a short video, but I came here to show you one special thing. My favorite species of damselfly that can be found here every year. Watch it until the end, is going to be worth it, because this is a really special and a really beautiful species of damselfly. You guys have to see this one. So let me just quickly look around and see if we can find some of them today. That would be great. Let's start the intro. Wow. Alright people, so immediately behind me I already see something interesting. They're a type of bird that you may find in the wetlands of the Netherlands. They're called the spoonbill bird. Take a look. The Eurasian spoonbill, Platalea leucorodia, is a bird you can find in the Netherlands and other parts of Europe and Africa too. The diet consists of aquatic insects, mollusks, newts, crustaceans, worms, leeches, frogs, tadpoles and small fish, up to 10 to 50 centimeters long. They use sideways sweeps of their spoon-shaped beaks to filter out the tiny fish and shrimps. Immediately here along the roads I noticed an interesting little plant here. Can you see it? It's these white little flowers down here. I can tell you something about them. Do you smell that, guys? It smells wonderful. It's too bad I can't let you smell things to YouTube, although I guess it's also a good thing sometimes when I haven't showered. This is here a very special plant to me. I hope Mother Nature doesn't mind if I pick a few of your flowers. This plant is chamomile. Chamomile, wild chamomile, yes, it's true. Why is this plant special to me? Well, they say that smells are something that are strongly tied to memories, right? And when Bart Coppens was a very young Bart, I think I was 5-6 years old, I used to live in this terrain that had a lot of wild chamomile. And smelling this plant, it always strongly reminds me of my childhood. So walk somewhere and I catch the scent of chamomile, I'm also always reminded of my childhood. And actually it makes sense, because neuroscientists have revealed that of all the senses that you have, smell is the most strongly tied to your memories in your brain. So that's interesting, don't you think? It's probably a remnant, because the mammals are strongly oriented by smells. Just look at stuff like dogs and other mammals who strongly use their smells to orient themselves. So it makes sense that we are mammals too. Smells are tied to your memories more strongly than any other sense, even though humans are not that great at smelling things. But, wild chamomile, maybe. Considering most of the Netherlands is below sea level, we have an absolute abundance of wetlands, swamps, bogs, fens, reedlands, any wet area more or less. The Netherlands is great for stuff like aquatic birds, dragonflies, any fauna associated with water. This is Vanellus vanellus, also known as the peewit. It is a wader that breeds on cultivated land and other short vegetation habitats. It feeds primarily on insects and other small invertebrates. In the Netherlands, this bird is somewhat common in grasslands with short vegetation and in meadows. Their eggs were an expensive delicacy in Victorian Europe. The species is mainly found in Europe and parts of Asia where they are resident. However, they can be highly migratory, especially to avoid colder seasons like winter, and have been found to migrate to North Africa and China. In extremely rare circumstances, the birds have even been sighted in Canada. The numbers of this species have been adversely affected by agricultural techniques. In the lowlands, this includes the loss of rough grassland. In my country, the populations have sadly been halved in the last few decades, simply because of agriculture. Unfortunately, in the Netherlands we have a tradition in which we destroy their eggs and their nests. Why? I don't know. But the thing is, it's a national sport to find the first early egg of this bird in spring. Let me tell you some more about it. Gathering peewit eggs in spring is an old Dutch tradition. In the Netherlands, there is a cultural historical competition to find the first peewit egg of the year. The first person in our country to find the first egg of the year is the winner, but there are also smaller regional competitions. Gathering peewit eggs is prohibited by the European Union, but my country was granted an exception for cultural historical reasons. As of 2006, looking for peewit eggs is permitted between 1 March and 9 April, although harvesting the eggs is now forbidden. Personally, I must say I don't like this tradition, although I am glad it is now illegal to eat or collect the eggs, something that we used to do in the past. It doesn't mean that it's harmless to look for them.
it still disturbs the birds at the moment they are highly vulnerable. This bird is not doing that great, since in the past few decades their populations have declined by half because of intensive agriculture. Thankfully, it seems that this old tradition has become less and less popular over time and is not being condoned by the government anymore. Despite that, I'm sure a significant amount of people will keep doing it, even if it's against the law. Over the last century, the first peewit egg has been found earlier and earlier every year. This is ascribed to both an increased use of fertilizer and climate change, causing the growth of the grass needed for egg laying to occur earlier in the year.
It's one thing to harass an animal because you want to consume it, but it's another thing entirely to harass it purely for entertainment. Why? That's weird. I don't like how people are always so defensive over traditions. Like the moment something is labeled a tradition, it's something that can't be questioned or changed. It's weird. Get over it, people. Times are changing. And so are your traditions. I think any habit that you have over several generations eventually becomes a tradition. Things that nowadays that you may find very extremely silly, things that people make fun of nowadays, like playing video games. Who knows, in 200 years they could be a tradition. It's possible. So yeah, like destroying the nest of a bird because it's somehow entertaining doesn't sit right with me. We should stop it. This amazing little cutie here is called the hairy hawker. What a name. The hairy hawker, Brachyton pratense. In my country it's a very common species, although in some other countries in Europe it may be more rare. This species is often found like in peat bogs, swamps like these. It's a decent sized dragonfly, very beautiful in my opinion. I like dragonflies, they're some of the best flyers in the world. Did you guys know that the eyes of a dragonfly are directly connected to its wings, slightly bypassing their brain? Like their eyes give feedback to their wings. What they see determines how they fly instantly. That's why they are such skilled flyers. There's direct feedback between the visuals, the eyes and the wings. Nice to meet you, hairy hawker. Don't worry guys, me holding the insect like this does not harm it. It's slightly inconvenience for a moment, but the moment I release it is going to be fine. These are a top predator, but what I really love are the blue eyes. Can you see it? Like they have these emerald blue... Well, emeralds are green. That was an epic fail. Sapphire blue eyes. Yeah, I'm an insect guy. I don't know my gemstones, forgive me. Like these blue eyes. So gorgeous. Don't know if you guys... Oops. Don't know if you guys are able to see it. It's really a beauty. So I'm gonna release it now, just to prove that it's gonna be fine. Be careful if you handle dragonflies, because these dudes can bite. One thing that's absolutely crazy about this area is the sheer abundance and diversity of damselflies. Like, with one swipe of my net I can catch 3 or 4 of them. It's hard to see because they are very thin little insects, but this cage, I already have like 10 of them gathered in a few minutes. I'm going to release them all, but before I do that I want to examine how many species there are in there and if there's any one of particular interest. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this is a beauty. Look at how beautiful it is. Guys, let me ask you a question. Are you interested in damselflies and dragonflies? Do you have any interest in the odonats? If so, this is going to be the Bart Coppens video for you, because this place has so many species of them. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the white-legged damselfly, or the blue featherleg. Platty's name is Penipus. Very common species that is found in muddy waters most of the time. You can see so many of them in this area. Just look at that. Now correct me if I'm wrong on the identification. I'm a beginner with dragonflies. But they like these slow flowing sections of muddy rivers with that has a lot of vegetation. And they're just, I believe this is a male. Females are more boring in color. But just look at this absolutely beautiful little insect. It's blue eyes. Okay. There you go. Bye bye. Thanks for being on my channel. And here we have the female of the blue featherleg. Females are usually a bit more dull. In insects, that is. In humans, of course, it's the opposite. Wow, Bart, but wait, didn't you just show this one before? No, I didn't. The cool thing about these damselflies is most of them are entirely different species, even though some of them look similar. This is the azure damselfly, Cunagion puella, and it is found in most of Europe. They are pretty common in ponds and lakesides. And well, the name azure damselfly, of course, it comes from the color of the males. Look at how amazingly blue this specimen is. Wow, I love these.
Guys, I am stumped on this one. Is it the female of the azure damselfly? I need help identifying this one. As I've said, sadly I'm not much of an expert when it comes to damselflies. I'm more of a newbie. Does anybody recognize it for me? If so, please let me know in the comments section. I'm trying hard to accurately identify these damselflies for you guys, but forgive me if it contains any mistakes. It's one of the first times I've tried to identify these species, to be honest.
Wow, another beautiful one. I think this is the scarce blue-tailed damselfly, Isnura pumilio. Correct me if I'm wrong. They are somewhat common in fens, bogs, basically a lot of wetlands with vegetation. And the coloration is really cool. And you can see why it's called a blue tail, because you can see like most of its abdominal segments are like green, and at the tip it has this very beautiful light blue one and a pretty interesting blue thorax. Wow. I like damselflies, although I don't know much about them. I think they're kind of like the equivalent of fairies. Aquatic fairies. Does that make sense? Beautiful. And if you look really closely, their colors can be surprisingly great. What a beauty. So, have I convinced you guys to like damselflies yet? No? Well, what I'm about to show you next is going to blow your mind. Because below this bridge, here, is one of the most interesting species of damselflies in my country. In fact, this species is the main reason that I came here, to this location. I'm going to show you them and catch some of them, and then from that moment and beyond you are going to love damselflies as well, because its beauty is amazing. Let's go! Wow! I did it! I caught a male and a female of my favorite damselfly for you guys on YouTube. It took me a while to catch them, but now I am able to show you them, and these are gonna blow your mind, I promise. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, wow, incredible. Meet the male of the banded demoiselle, Calopteryx splendens. It is super iridescent. It's like a living gemstone, a fairy. So this large species of damselfly is reasonably common in my country. The males are very territorial and very shiny, as you can see. They are absolutely amazing. What's really cool is that their wings are colored as well. Can you guys see it? So in my country, the males of this beautiful insect, you will see them commonly chasing after each other, for they're actually very territorial. They prefer to breed in open bodies of water, especially if there is a little bit of water flow. They don't seem to like stagnant water that much. They like streams of fresh water. So often in canals, streams, stuff like that. It's where you can expect these beauties. But to me, they are one of the most beautiful damselflies in the world. Their beauty is incredible and indescribable. Wow. Yeah, but overall this is a mythical creature. A mythical creature. Seeing them always makes me so happy. Well, guys, I think we messed long enough with it. It's time to let him go. Bye bye. Enjoying the show so far? I hope you are, because I'm doing effort for you guys, as usual. So that's not all of it, because I still have a female, and the female looks a little different. Let's show her as well. Oh my freaking god. Look at it. Look at its color. Gee, this is so incredible. Nature makes me so happy, guys. So here we have the female of the same species I just showed you. Calopteryx splendens. And wow. Look at that iridescent metallic green. Incredible. It's beyond me that people say insects are ugly. They are really the most beautiful animals in the world. Just look at it. Color is out of this world. So yeah, it's a common theme in insects that males or females are differently colored. It's known as sexual dimorphism. What's really cool about dragonflies and damselflies is they are indicators of water quality. They are kind of picky, and you'll rarely see them breed in heavily polluted waters. So what it means is that for nature, when you see a lot of damselflies and a lot of biodiversity, that when it comes to nature, the quality of the water is pretty good. And that's a positive thing. For the making of this video, no damselflies were harmed, and I release all of them back to nature. Alright guys, that was it. That was the end. Today was a short video, but hopefully still a nice video. If you like the show, there's one thing you can do in return. Consider giving me a tip, or a donation, or helping crowdfund my channel. My name is Bart Coppens, an online entomologist/biologist who makes videos about nature. And my channel has over 20,000 subscribers that I regularly entertain for free. For free? Yeah, that's because my channel is demonetized. YouTube has taken away my monetization. I don't have any company sponsoring me, and YouTube is not helping me as well. So I'm all alone. I'm doing this all by myself. I have no editors. I have no team that helps me, no companies that have my back, nobody, it's just me. And my channel is demonetized, so when I upload a video, I don't make a single penny from it, not a single cent. And all the budget that I get to make the free time, to make these videos, that compensate for my travel costs, is donations from my fans. This channel is crowdfunded. And every month, over 100 people donate to my channel. Over 100 people every month donate to this channel. That's a really good thing, because it allows me to make videos of nature and the things that I want to show you. Last but not least, thanks for watching. Of course, you don't have to give me anything. You are no less of a viewer if you don't pay me, of course. The people liking, subscribing, sharing my videos are just as valuable to me. Give me a tip. What do you want to see next in my country? I'm willing to take suggestions. Bye bye.